For years, riders have asked for a middleweight that isn't a sport bike, a cruiser that isn't a heavyweight, and an adventure bike that can actually handle dirt. Now 15 officially confirmed 2027 models answer those complaints in different ways. We're counting them down from the overlooked solutions to the one that may come closest to giving riders exactly what they asked for. Let's begin. Number 15, Yamaha TT-R230 2027. For years, trail riders have been asking for the same thing. Why does getting serious about dirt have to mean buying a race-bred machine that demands constant attention? Sometimes you don't want a competition bike. You want something you can fire up, point toward the woods, and enjoy without turning Saturday morning into a maintenance session. That is where the Yamaha TT-R230 earns its spot. Introduced in 2005, this trail bike has survived because its formula simply works. The 2027 version carries a 223 cubic centimeter air-cooled single, 6-speed transmission, electric start, 21-inch front wheel, 18-inch rear, and 11.6 inches of ground clearance. At 251 pounds wet, it is substantial enough for adult riders without becoming a handful on the trail. And Yamaha keeps the recipe refreshingly old school. Carburetor, CDI ignition, simple controls, and no obsession with electronic wizardry. Yamaha has also announced a $4,699 MSRP for the 2027 TT-R230. Before buying one, squeeze the fork tubes and look for fresh oil around the seals. Wetness there can turn a cheap trail bike into an immediate suspension bill. Its weakness is obvious. Aggressive riders will eventually find the engine and suspension outmatched, but that limitation is almost the point. The TT-R230 isn't chasing trophies. It is protecting something riders have been losing for years. Simple, uncomplicated fun. But riders who split their time between dirt and pavement may want something even simpler and lower. Yamaha has an answer with a machine known for its fat tires and remarkably uncomplicated character. Imagine standing in front of a bike you want, the seller swearing it's perfect. That's where riders overpay by thousands on a $10,000 bike. Our buyer's kit tells you what it's really worth, your fair price, and when to walk away. A wrong bike costs thousands. This kit, just $49. The easiest money you'll ever save. Scan the QR on the right or tap the link in the description. Let's get that bike you've always wanted for even cheaper. Number 14, Yamaha TW200 2027. What if the perfect dual sport isn't the tallest, fastest, or most technologically advanced motorcycle in the showroom? For riders who want pavement during the week and dirt on the weekend, Yamaha has kept offering something remarkably simple, the TW200. Its story stretches all the way back to 1987, and the 2027 model continues that formula, almost stubbornly unchanged. Beneath the tank sits a 196 cubic centimeter AIR-cooled single, paired with a 5-speed transmission and electric start. The 31.1-inch seat makes mounting easy, while 10.4 inches of ground clearance gives it room to tackle rougher terrain. Then there are those enormous tires. They aren't just styling. Their broad footprint helps the TW stay planted when the pavement disappears, while the 278-pound wet weight keeps the motorcycle manageable at walking speeds. Yamaha lists the 2027 MSRP at $4,999. Before buying one, squeeze the front brake firmly and watch the fork seals for fresh oil. A wet ring deserves attention. The trade-off? That modest engine isn't built for sustained highway punishment or serious enduro competition. But maybe that's exactly why the TW has lasted this long. If you want more motorcycle videos built around real research instead of recycled hype, subscribe to the channel. The TW200 keeps things simple, but its modest engine leaves highway performance on the table. So what if you want that same freedom off pavement with far more serious dirt bike performance? The next machine comes much closer to a competition bike. Number 13, Honda CRF 450RL 2027. For riders who want real dirt capability without giving up the right to ride home, there has always been an annoying compromise: street legal. Dual sports can feel too soft, while serious off-road machines often can't legally touch the pavement. The Honda CRF 450RL was built to attack that problem. The 2027 model carries a liquid-cooled 450 cubic centimeter unicam single, fuel injection, a wide ratio 6-speed transmission, and serious Showa suspension with 12 inches of front travel and 11.8 inches at the rear. It is street legal, yet its roots clearly belong in the dirt. That makes this Honda very different from a typical adventure bike. Instead of dragging a heavyweight chassis down a narrow trail, the CRF 450RL puts off-road performance first and keeps the road connection intact. Honda has announced a $10,199 MSRP for the 2027 CRF 450RL. Before making an offer, compress the forks repeatedly and run a finger around each seal. Fresh oil on the tube can signal a leaking seal. The weakness? A 37.2-inch seat and focused chassis can become demanding on pavement or for shorter riders. Still, this is exactly the kind of compromise serious dual sport riders have been asking manufacturers to make. But its dirt-first design isn't ideal for long highway days. Riders wanting one machine for commuting, touring, and trails need a different balance, and BMW's next middleweight adventure answer brings an 895 cubic centimeter twin to the job. Number 12, BMW F800GS 2027. For years, adventure riders have been caught between two extremes. The big GS delivers effortless highway performance, but once the pavement ends, all that motorcycle can become a handful. Go smaller, and suddenly you're wishing for more engine on the interstate. Riders wanted something in between. The 2027 BMW F800GS is that answer. BMW carries an 895 cubic centimeter liquid, cooled parallel twin, producing 87 horsepower and 67 pound-feet of torque, paired with a 6-speed transmission. Add ABS Pro, dynamic traction control, a 6.5-inch TFT display, full LED lighting, and USB power. And this isn't some stripped-down compromise. The current generation began with the 2024 model year, replacing the previous F750GS and F850GS naming structure. The 2027 BMW F800GS is officially announced for the US with an announced MSRP of $10,995 before destination. The premium package adds $2,010. Before buying, turn the bars fully left and right while watching the wiring and cables. Anything binding or pulling tight deserves investigation. The catch? This remains a substantial adventure motorcycle, so loose terrain quickly reminds you that it isn't a lightweight trail bike. Still, the F800GS delivers what many riders wanted: genuine GS versatility without automatically stepping into BMW's biggest machines. But some riders want an adventure bike that is genuinely eager to leave the pavement. The next machine keeps the same 895 cubic centimeter class, but pushes much harder towards serious off-road capability. Number 11, BMW F900GS 2027. There is a moment when an adventure ride stops being a scenic cruise and starts asking questions of the motorcycle. The gravel gets deeper, the ruts get sharper, the road narrows until turning around is more trouble than continuing. That is where the BMW F900GS makes its case. That is where the BMW F900GS comes in. The 2027 model carries an 895 cubic centimeter liquid, cooled parallel twin, producing 105 horsepower and 68.6 pound-feet of torque. BMW adds ABS Pro, dynamic traction control, heated grips, full LED lighting, and a 6.5-inch TFT display with connectivity. This generation began with the 2024 model year, giving used shoppers a clear window to target. And the mission is different from the F800GS. This machine pushes harder towards serious off-road riding while retaining the engine strength needed for long stretches of pavement. It is the motorcycle for someone who doesn't want to choose between dirt and distance. BMW lists the 2027 MSRP at $14,495 before destination. Before purchasing, compress the forks repeatedly while feeling the tubes. Fresh oil or a sticky section can reveal suspension trouble. The compromise is that it is still a substantial adventure motorcycle, and that mass becomes impossible to ignore when trails get slow, steep, or technical. But for riders demanding more capability without moving into the heavyweight class, the F900GS makes a convincing case. The F900GS answers the demand for serious dirt capability, but not everyone asking for a strong middleweight wants an adventure bike. What if you want that 895 cubic centimeter twin in a low road-focused package instead? That's where the next machine enters. Number 10, BMW F900R 2027. While many riders have watched naked bikes drift toward the same recipe, some riders wanted something more natural. A genuine roadster with upright ergonomics, muscular torque, and enough excitement for the back roads without making every ride feel like qualifying for a race. That is where the BMW F900R fits. The 2027 model packs an 895 cubic centimeter, liquid-cooled parallel twin producing 105 horsepower and 68 pound-feet of torque. BMW adds ABS, dynamic traction control, automatic stability control, a 6.5-inch TFT, full LED lighting, and power outlets. The name dates to 2020, while a substantial update arrived for 2025. That distinction matters when shopping used. The earlier bikes and newer versions aren't identical. BMW lists the 2027 MSRP at an announced $10,495 before destination. And also, there are things you need to check before buying. Drag your fingertips across the front brake rotors. Deep grooves, heavy scoring, or a pronounced outer edge can reveal expensive wear. The unresolved trade-off is the fact that it remains a sporty roadster, so serious touring requires extra wind protection and luggage. Still, the F900R gives the 900 cubic centimeter class twin a proper roadster home, but long-distance riders need more than an upright riding position. If your touring budget stops at $15,000, the next machine offers a very different answer while keeping that same 895 cubic centimeter foundation. Picture it, you buy the bike, it looked clean, it sounded great. 3 weeks later, the bills start, a worn chain, tired forks, a service the seller never mentioned. That's thousands gone on a bike you already paid full price for. Our inspection checklist catches every one of those before you pay, walking the bike like a mechanic. Spend $49 now or lose thousands later. Scan the QR on the right or tap the link in the description. Don't let a hidden problem drain your wallet. Number 9, BMW F900XR 2027. For a very long time, middleweight riders had to pick their poison. Want sharp handling? Buy a naked bike and let the highway beat you up. Want real wind protection? Move into a heavyweight tourer and accept the extra bulk. But riders kept asking for the middle ground. Something sporty enough for a twisty road, yet comfortable enough to cross several states without feeling like punishment. Enter the BMW F900XR. BMW introduced this adventure sport in 2020, pairing upright ergonomics with a sporty chassis and a parallel twin engine that knows how to stretch its legs. For 2027, that 895 cubic centimeter twin produces 105 horsepower and 68 pound-feet of torque, while ABS, traction control, heated grips, lead lighting, and a 6.5-inch TFT keep the miles civilized. The big improvement arrived in 2025, bringing lighter wheels, adjustable upside-down forks, ABS Pro, dynamic traction control, better wind protection, and standard hand protectors. The announced 2027 MSRP is $12,695, compared with $11,695 for the 2022 model. Buying one used, move the adjustable windscreen through its full range. Any sticking, cracking, or excessive play deserves attention. The XR still carries more electronics than old-school touring purists may want, But some riders want the presence and torque of a full-size bagger without wrestling something near 770 pounds. The next machine answers that demand with 6 cylinders instead of the usual V-twin. Number 8, BMW K1600B 2027. What if you wanted serious interstate comfort without following the American cruiser formula? BMW had a different answer, and it came with 6 cylinders. Meet the BMW K1600B. This machine packs a 1,649 cubic centimeter inline 6, producing 160 horsepower and 132.7 pound-feet of torque. Shaft drive, cruise control, heated grips, seat heating, integrated cases, reversing aid, and adaptive LED lighting make it built for serious miles. And that 10.25-inch TFT keeps the cockpit feeling more luxury car than old-school cruiser. The name dates back to 2018, while 2022 brought a major electronics overhaul, including improved connectivity, navigation, dynamic ESA, and upgraded lighting. But here's the reality check. BMW lists the 2027 1600B at 758.4 pounds fully fueled. The 29.5-inch seat helps it stops, but it cannot make that mass disappear. The announced MSRP is $25,075, compared with documented JD Power valuations ranging from $12,460 for a 2021 to $22,885 for a 2026. Before buying used, turn the handlebars fully from lock to lock and watch for any notchiness or resistance. The K1600B proves a bagger can have a completely different heartbeat, but it is still a road-focused heavyweight. What if you want to leave the highway behind without dragging a giant adventure bike with you? The next machine brings back an older kind of G/S character. Number 7, BMW R12 GS 2027. Adventure bikes were supposed to make the dirt easier to reach. Somewhere along the way, many became so big, heavy, and complicated that riders started planning around the motorcycle instead of the trail. The complaint was simple: give us real off-road hardware without losing the character of a classic dual-purpose machine. That's where the BMW R12 GS steps in. This isn't a road bike dressed up with knobby tires. Its 1,170 cubic centimeter air and oil-cooled boxer twin produces 109 horsepower and 85 pound-feet of torque, while a 21-inch front wheel, 18-inch rear, and fully adjustable enduro suspension give it genuine dirt road hardware. The model began with 2026, making 2026 to 2027 the complete U.S. range. BMW also links its design directly to the legendary R80GS concept, but adds ABS Pro, traction control, keyless ride, and full LED lighting. The 2027 announced MSRP is $17,095. Before buying one, push the front suspension down repeatedly and watch the fork seals for fresh oil. The R12 GS brings old-school adventure character into a thoroughly modern machine. But not every rider wants the tall stance in dirt-focused mission. Some want that same boxer heritage in a simpler road-going package, and BMW's next answer takes the formula in exactly that direction. Number 6, BMW R12 nineT 2027. Some motorcycles are designed to impress you with technology. Others make you want to walk back into the garage after dinner just to look at them again. The BMW R12 nineT belongs firmly in that second group. Its story began with the 2024 model year, carrying forward the spirit of BMW's original nineT family in a cleaner, more modern package. For 2027, the formula remains centered around the exposed boxer twin, 1,170 cubic centimeter, air and oil cooled, producing 109 horsepower and 85 pound-feet of torque. The hardware does the talking. You get ABS Pro, dynamic traction control, dynamic engine brake control, keyless ride, LED lighting, and that unmistakable aluminum tank. Yet the technology stays in the background while the boxer cylinders remain impossible to ignore. BMW lists the 2027 MSRP at $17,245. Its original 2024 MSRP was $16,295. Current used pricing should be judged against those figures in the individual motorcycle's condition. Before buying, run your fingers around both boxer cylinder head covers. Fresh oil or a damp sealing edge deserves investigation. There is one irony. Keyless ride means riders demanding a completely traditional ignition still haven't received exactly what they asked for. But perhaps that's why the nineT works. It doesn't reject modern engineering. It simply refuses to let modern engineering become the star. But to be honest, nostalgia alone does not satisfy riders who want modern performance from a conventional roadster. And that creates another long-running complaint. Why should serious performance force you into an adventure bike silhouette? The next machine answers that with BMW's latest big boxer, but instead of sending it down a dirt trail, this one puts all that displacement, torque, and technology into a machine designed to stay firmly on the pavement. Number 5, BMW R1300 R2027. Many riders who wanted a serious standard motorcycle kept getting pushed towards sharper, more aggressive naked bikes. They were quick, exciting, and increasingly sport bike-like, but plenty of riders wanted something different. Real power, an upright stance, and enough versatility to enjoy a back road without feeling like every mile was a workout. That is what the BMW R1300R does. Introduced as a completely new model for 2026, this boxer roadster replaced the R1250R with a 1,300 cubic centimeter liquid cooled twin producing 145 horsepower and 110 pound-feet of torque. Shift cam technology, ABS Pro, traction control, dynamic suspension adjustment, cruise control, and a 6.5-inch TFT brings serious capability without turning the motorcycle into a rolling computer lab. The 2027 MSRP is $16,695 compared with JD Power Low retail of $13,635 for the 2026 model. But there's a catch. BMW pushed the new R1300R toward a sportier riding position, so traditional standard purists may find it less relaxed than expected. Before buying used, run your finger around both fork tubes. Any fresh oil film or ring means the seals deserve attention. The R1300R proves a powerful roadster doesn't need a fairing to make serious miles exciting, but some riders still want the real thing, a proper leader-class sport bike. The next machine comes from Japan with an inline-4 and a name Honda riders know well. Imagine walking into a viewing holding all the cards. You know the fair price, you know your opening offer, and you know the exact number where you walk away. That's how you knock hundreds, even thousands off the asking price. Our buyer's kit hands you those numbers for just $49. Negotiate from facts and never overpay again. Scan the QR on the right or tap the link in the description. Ride away knowing you got the best deal. Number 4, Honda CBR 1000RR 2027. There's a reason the litter bike class still has a pulse. Riders want that rush of a big inline-4, but not everyone wants to spend nearly 30 grand on a machine built with the racetrack at the center of its universe. That is the gap Honda fills with the 2027 CBR 1000RR. This is a confirmed US model, powered by a 1,000 cubic centimeter liquid, cooled inline-4 with a 6-speed transmission, throttle-by-wire, Honda selectable torque control, power modes, engine braking adjustment, wheelie control, and a slipper clutch. A Showa SFF BP fork and dual 320mm front discs keep the chassis just as serious as the engine. The announced MSRP is $17,099 or $17,399 with ABS, plus $775 destination. Compare that with $28,999 for the CBR 1000RR R Fireblade SP, and the appeal becomes obvious. For used buyers, KBB lists a 2025 at $14,500 and a 2024 at $9,800. Before buying, turn the handlebars slowly from lock to lock. Notchy movement or uneven resistance can expose steering damage. What remains unresolved? This is still a sophisticated supersport, not the stripped-back analog leader bike some purists crave. Still, Honda proves you don't need the most extreme Fireblade to get the real litter bike experience. But for riders who have been waiting for a different legend to return, that still leaves one very obvious question. Where is Suzuki's answer? In 2027, that question finally gets answered with the next bike. Number 3, Suzuki GSX-R1000 40-year Anniversary Edition, 2027. For Suzuki loyalists, this isn't simply another new model. It's the answer to a question that has been hanging around the sport bike world for years. When would the GSX-R1000 return as a genuinely modern leader bike? Now we know. The 2027 Suzuki GSX-R1000 40-year Anniversary Edition brings the legendary name back with meaningful mechanical updates. Its 999.8 cubic centimeter liquid-cooled inline 4 receives revised cylinder heads, ports, cam timing, crankshaft components, fuel injection, and a 4x2x1 exhaust. Suzuki also claims a 10% lighter frame. Then the electronics catch up. A Bosch IMU works with updated traction control, roll torque control, launch control, lift limitation, motion track ABS, and a bidirectional quickshifter. Brembo monoblock calipers, a 6-speed gearbox, and the familiar Ram air intake keep the GSX-R identity intact. The announced MSRP is $16,399 plus $750 destination. For comparison, J.D. Power lists a 2024 at $13,075 low retail and $17,205 average retail. Before buying used, squeeze the front brake while pushing forward. Pulsing or excessive lever. Travel can expose brake trouble. What remains unresolved? Its committed supersport ergonomics won't satisfy riders seeking relaxed everyday comfort. The GSX-R1000 answers. The demand for Suzuki's legendary leader class sport bike and the 40th anniversary badge makes the return even harder to ignore. But Suzuki has another icon that riders have refused to let disappear. A machine built not around razor-sharp cornering alone, but around enormous speed, long-distance stability, and a name that became part of motorcycle culture. If the GSX-R represents Suzuki's return to the leader bike fight, the next machine represents the other side of that legacy, the icon that turns speed itself into an identity. Number 2, Suzuki Hayabusa, 2027. There is a complaint that refuses to disappear. Riders wanted enormous performance without turning every ride into a race. They wanted a legendary hyperbike with the stability, wind protection, electronics, and road manners to make sense beyond the track. For 2027, Suzuki keeps that philosophy alive with the Hayabusa, officially confirmed for the US market. Its 1,340 cubic centimeter liquid-cooled DOHC inline 4 delivers the kind of effortless thrust that made this name legendary, but the modern version is far more sophisticated than the early machines that created the legend. Ride-by-wire, a 6-speed gearbox, Suzuki clutch assist, a twin-spar aluminum frame, and the Suzuki Intelligent Ride System give riders selectable modes, traction control, motion track ABS, launch control, lift limitation, engine braking adjustment, and a bidirectional quickshifter. The announced MSRP is $19,699 plus $750 destination, making the listed pre-tax total $20,449. For used shoppers, J.D. Power places a 2025 at $15,935 low retail and $20,970 average retail. Current listings include 2025 examples at $18,888 and $19,399. Before handing over your money, rotate the rear wheel while watching the chain and sprocket. Hooked teeth or tight chain sections can reveal neglected final drive maintenance. What still remains unresolved is that at 583 pounds, the Hayabusa is still a substantial machine when parking lots replace highways. That mass is the trade-off for its stability, wind protection, and effortless high-speed character. And that leaves one final question. Can a middleweight give riders the balance of performance, versatility, and accessibility they've been asking for? The final motorcycle comes from the same manufacturer, uses a familiar V-twin formula, costs less than half the Hayabusa's base MSRP, and attempts to occupy the middle ground that so many riders have been asking manufacturers to fill. Number 1. Suzuki SV7GX 2027. What if the motorcycle you've been waiting for isn't the fastest, tallest, or biggest one in the showroom? What if it's simply the machine that finally gets the balance right? Meet the Suzuki SV7GX. For years, riders have been stuck choosing between cramped sport bikes and oversized adventure tours. Suzuki finally attacks that gap with a crossover built around everyday usability. The heart of it is Suzuki's 645 cubic centimeter, 90-degree V-twin, now paired with ride-by-wire, 3 riding modes, traction control, and a bi-directional quick shifter. Then comes the practical stuff: a 31.3-inch seat, 4.6-gallon tank, adjustable windscreen, padded seating, rear carrier, LED lighting, and a 4.2-inch TFT display. At 465 pounds, it isn't featherweight, but it remains approachable for daily riding and longer trips. Suzuki lists the new MSRP at $8,599. So before taking one home, turn the bars from lock to lock and compress the forks. Listening for knocks or binding? Its weakness? This is a road-focused crossover, not a serious dirt machine. But maybe that's exactly why it wins. The SV7GX isn't trying to replace every motorcycle. It simply fills a space riders have been asking manufacturers to fill for years. And that's what makes this 2027 lineup worth watching. These motorcycles are not all perfect, but they show where manufacturers are finally responding to demands riders have been making for years. And if this video made you look at the 2027 motorcycle market differently, click the next video and keep the road trip going. The next motorcycle story is already waiting, and it may reveal another side of this industry that most riders never see. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss what's coming next.